Hey everybody, it's Bob Iaccino, the host of PureXposure Media Group's Market Think Tank. We do have another show coming up. I'm also joined today by the host of Futures Edge with Jim Iuorio, which is another PureXposure Media Group show. Oddly enough, that host is Jim Iuorio. Jimmy, say hi.
Hi, good to see you guys.
Jimmy and I have got shows coming up next week, and we had huge response to both of those shows. We had just 15,000 people watch the Market Think Tank show. Over 4,000 people watch the Futures Edge show. The Market Think Tank is going to be Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern time. I want to make sure you guys show up. You should watch it live because we're talking about actionable trades. On the Market Think Tank show, I've got Jeff Kilberg from KKM Financial. ETF guy, knows everything about futures, everything about stocks, but he really is an ETF specialist. So that's always a great conversation. Charlie Moon, lead options analyst for Prosper Trading. Prosper, I've talked good about Prosper because I'm actually a subscriber and Charlie's one of their best guys. And also I've got my partner in the stock think tank, Mike Arnold. We're going to do a whole segment about some of the stocks that we're looking at in the stock think tank. And then of course, one of my guests is Jim Iuorio, and I'm going to be a guest on Jimmy's show, which is Friday, March 20, what is that? March 28th, 26th?
26th.
It's Friday, March 26th. So Futures Edge with Jim Iuorio is actually Friday, February 26th, not March 26th, as him and I both said just a second ago. It is the Friday following the Monday that we're going to air the Market Think Tank with Bob Iaccino. That's Monday, February 22nd. Jimmy's show is Friday, February 26th. Now, obviously, Jimmy and I work way too hard during the week, staring at markets, trying to find the best trades that we can talk about on the show. And we shouldn't do videos on Friday because we're just brain dead. Or we're just normally brain dead. You decide. But Jimmy's show is February 26th, not March. I got that. Jimmy, why don't you talk about that, the date and time, and who's going to be on your show?
Bob Iaccino is going to be a guest. Bob's been a buddy of mine for 30 years. He's a wealth of knowledge in rates and then crude. We're also going to have Carly Garner of DeCarly Trading. And I don't know if you've read any of her books before, but I really love her books. I think her great skill is to take really complicated things and just simplify them down to the bare bones and make them easy to understand. I'm really looking forward to have her on. On Futures Edge, we do kind of a macro view of whatever we chose, whether it's rates, gold, silver, currencies, usually stocks. Everyone wants to talk about stocks. And we do like a macro look, and we boil it down more narrow until we come up with a trade example of how to represent either a positional opinion or a hedge. And it's really been fun. The first installment of it was a good time. We got a lot of great feedback. One guy said it was like after a busy day on a trading floor, sitting around with a couple floor traders, kind of doing a recap. And that's exactly the vibe, what we're going for. Again, it's Friday, February 26th, 3:30 Eastern time. I don't know why, Bobby, you guys make me talk in Eastern time. We're Chicago guys. The world revolves around Chicago. So that's 2:30 Chicago time, 3:30 Eastern. Please sign up ahead of time. It's going to be it's going to be timely stuff. So please try to watch it live, but then it's going to be available thereafter.
Yeah, the good thing about your show, Jim, is that my show, I can't crack a beer. It's too early, but I might crack one during your show on Friday. It's also Friday. So if you can't watch Jim's show live, you should definitely watch the replay. The replay for the last show is still up on PureXposure Growth's YouTube channel. So check that out. Check out the replay of the Market Think Tank. And again, Jeff Kilberg's a buddy of both of ours. So one of these days, I want to get all three of us on at the same time, me, you, and Kilberg, to kind of go back and forth. I think two Italians stacking up. Actually, if we were standing on top of each other, we wouldn't be as tall as him. But I think brain-wise, we've gotten him beat.
Amen. I agree with that. It's fun to talk with Jeff. It's fun to bust his chops about playing football for Notre Dame, which he mentions all the time, by the way. But actually, there's some Notre Dame guys mention it more than Jeff does, but still enough that we can make fun of him effectively. But I'm really looking forward to the show. We're going to, my theme lately, to bring it back to a market thing, is I think everything revolves around the dollar. Last time we did the first installment of the Futures Edge, Bobby came up with some commodity trade examples that worked out beautifully. I think that theme is going to continue. I think as JP Morgan called, maybe it was the beginning of a commodity super cycle, and that's all about the dollar. When we look at rates too and the steepening of the yield curve.
Yeah, and definitely interest rates are a big, big deal right now, not just for commodities, but for stocks. We'll talk about that with Charlie. We'll talk about that with Mike Arnold in the stocks he's looking at the Stock Think Tank. And yeah, definitely, Coach Holtz definitely said, make sure you watch the Market Think Tank Monday the 22nd, 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and check out Futures Edge the 26th, the following Friday, 3:30 Eastern Time, 2:30 Central Time if you're in Chicago. Thanks, and I will see you guys on Monday and then again on Friday.